Latif is the best we could find, and we looked.
You know who this is?
Of course.
No. It is not Saddam. My father cannot be everywhere at once. I want you to come and work for me.
Work for you?
I want you to be my double. My brother. We could be twins, no? You are asking me to extinguish myself. You do understand, Latif? It is quite simple.
I am going to talk about this movie, but it might not be fair for me to give a complete review of this movie because I saw this at Sundance recently. And
bragging about going to Sundance.
Yes, I am. Let me brag you about something else.
Look at me.
Yes. I was high as hell when I saw this movie.
Is that because of the elevation and the air was thin?
We'll just say that, yeah.
It's a combination of effects.
Yeah.
Sniffing Elmer's glue again?
This isn't actually Corey. It's a stand-in.
Yeah, it was my Fide that was there. No, I don't do that kind of stuff. No, my double was supposed to watch this for me. He told me he got high as hell. No, I was fucked up at the screening of this movie, man. And this movie, I was watching it for a while and it got crazy. And I put my head down and I looked up to see some guy get chopped up and disemboweled. And I was like, oh my God, please help me.
Did you run out of the theater screaming? Because that is a selling point right there.
Well, I can tell you what.
I ran out the theater screaming. No, I thought the selling point would be like, I was high as hell.
I can tell you what. I saw this movie a couple weeks ago completely sober, and I felt the exact same way, especially on that scene. This movie is like the Arab version of Caligula at times.
Really? Because this was like an Iraqi version of a gangster film to me. I mean, I was literally at one point in the lap of the guy that I was hanging out with and just hold me. You know?
That's how I feel.
It was the wrong time for me to watch this movie. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because I have,
sounds like a badass thing in my book.
It's based on a true story. You're not expecting a nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat, holy shit, did you just see that shit type of thriller that The Devil's Double actually is.
Yeah.
And I'd be curious to know in the actual details how much of this stuff really happened. But from what I've read, it sounds like about 98% of it is considered to be absolutely what happened.
That's what I want to know. Like this film is so insane to be based on a true story. I wonder how much of this is exaggerated, for dramatic effect and cinematic purposes, and how much of it is true. Yeah, if people might have been hearing about this because for nothing else, I got to give this movie high praise for the performance of Dominic Cooper in this, who plays two roles in this movie. Now, the movie centers on one of Saddam Hussein's son, Uday Hussein, and that fucker is insane, man. And when you see him in the movie, he's just kind of a spoiled rich playboy, and he has a childhood acquaintance named Latif, also played by Dominic Cooper, and he tells him that, you know what, I need a Fide. A Fide is a political body double.
Oh, I thought it was one of those French toilets.
No, that's I knew somebody was going to say that. I'm going to take your head and stick it in a bidet.
He pretty much treats him like that.
Well, he does treat him. Yeah. You're speaking of a bidet, and it's appropriate to have that name because he does treat Dominic's character Latif as like a piece of shit. First, he comes up and just says, "Look, a lot of people when we were kids, they used to say that we looked alike. I mean, isn't that crazy?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess so." And he's like, "Yeah, we look so much alike that you know what? You should be my body double. I'll pay you well, and you have all my girls and riches, and you get money.
You get to live like me.
Yeah.
I'm rich. I have women. Why can't you do this?"
Yeah, and he's like, "Well, because I have a family." He's like, "You won't for long if you don't come and do what I tell you to do. You work for me now." And so, to protect his family, Latif is pretty much having to be a body double, like leave his life that he's made for himself.
In fact, have his death forcibly faked so his family thinks he's dead.
Really? See,
yeah,
did you miss that? Because that's the whole thing that makes this movie scary. It's like somebody coming to you and saying, "Hey, man, I'm going to set you up and make you rich and give you everything you ever wanted," and you go like, "Well, let me think about it." No, I wasn't giving you a choice.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. This is how it's going to be.
Your life is over.
You don't want to say no to me because I will fuck you up.
Oh, yeah,
It sounds like the Hannah Montana story.
a violent Hannah Montana.
The adult version.
That's not the only rule either. There's lots of rules. That when you're dealing with a truly you've dated redheads. When you're dealing with a truly crazy person, this shit just comes up all of a sudden. By the way, did I not mention you can't do this? Wow!
I like that what you said right there. Like, that's the true story behind Hannah Montana. It was not Miley Cyrus. She actually hired a double and treated her like shit and threatened her family.
That's what I always thought watching that show. I thought it was so great.
Shut up, down, you bitch. But it is scary because he apparently you say he had him fake his death, but then he takes him and like he makes him even do like surgery to
plastic surgery
to like to make him modify him to look more like himself.
Fucked up guy.
Yeah, and that's
Except
when
for his dick, which apparently, like the good guys, is bigger. They keep
Yeah, but it's even that point where it's like, hey, you know what? Everybody's saying that your dick is bigger, so I'll send you to surgery. We can take care of that. It's like, say what?
Is that an actual scene in the movie?
No, it's an actual scene in the movie.
No, it's
Wow.
funny because you're like he keeps threatening him. I'll kill your family. I'll kill your family, and that'd be that one time. Everybody would be like, "Fuck my family."
Hey,
I'm going to go on Fandango right now. What is this movie called? I need to see this.
My family wouldn't exist if it weren't for this dick right here. He's trying to cut off. Yeah, it's funny because the more that he gets pulled in, he's like, all right, this is already kind of fucked up that this guy's making me do this. But when he pulls him in, he gets to see all of the, just the evil shit that this guy does, all of the murder, all of the rape, just all
child
of the child molestation.
Child molestation too?
Co-host, this is the person that you have to pretend that you are. You are forced to pretend you, like at first you go like, hey, I'm the prince. This could be awesome. The prince who murders and rapes children. This is who you have to pretend that you are.
Check, please.
Yeah, no, I'll
fuck a horse. I ain't fucking no kids. I'm sorry.
It's bad enough that you have to pretend to be him, but to know that you are helping him out. You are helping him to continue doing the shit he's doing by doing this. And the only reason you are is because you're afraid he's going to murder your family. Wow. Talk about trapped between a rock and a hard place. And this is what really happened to this guy.
And the thing is, this premise that I'm already sold. I already feel like I have to see this. I'm hoping it's not. It doesn't go so far as to becoming a Serbian film, but at the same time, though, it's fascinating only because it is completely based on fact, supposedly. And the thing is, I'm assuming this movie you are this double throughout the movie as far as seeing these atrocities happen.
Well, you do spend
and what you think how do you handle?
You do spend more time with the double Latif. Because he's the soul of the film. He's the guy that he has no way out, and you wonder how's this guy going to get out of this because he does not want to be there. And the more he sees, the more he's like, look, I'm either going to, if I don't die, I'm going to have to become this guy in every evil sense of the word, and I don't want to do that. And he said, I'd rather kill myself than do that.
The only sense of relief is that the movie starts by letting you know this is based on the memoirs of this guy, a book he wrote. So he gets out of it at least.
Yeah. You're telling me the last page wasn't,
What's the thing? The whole time you watch this movie, you don't know that. It's based on a memoir, and you go like, okay, he got out, but for all you know, he wrote this posthumously. this was published posthumously.
For all you know, when they found that memoir, the hand was still attached to it, but not the body.
There's even a portion.
I hope that's at the end.
There's even a portion of this film where it appears like 3/4 of the way through, it appears like, hey, I think I did it. I think I got away, and you're going, and that's even worse because you look at your watch, you're like, shit, this movie ain't near being over yet. This might be when he wrote the memoirs.
Wow.
Uday Hussein finished it for him.
But in that respect, it made me think of movies I love, like Miller's Crossing, where you start with a guy who is in such a situation where you're just like, I don't see how you could possibly get out of this. I feel for I don't know what you could do, and then he does figure out something. But it's like, God damn,
it's a gangster film, man. It's a gangster. Take away the real life story and all the political shit that's behind it, and you get like a mob boss, pretty much, who is pretty much said, I got so much power that I bought somebody and own them now. And
he's Scarface, pretty much.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And when you look at this, there's been like different reviews coming out for this film, and I understand both sides because on the one hand, Uday Hussein in this movie is pretty much portrayed as Donald Duck. He's a cartoon character. He's got buck teeth, big eyes, and he talks like this. Hey, everybody, I'm going to party, and then I'm going to kill Billy, rap your daughter. You know, it's like, and it's almost a cartoonish portrayal, but it's only made amazing by the fact that you forget that Dominic Cooper is playing two roles.
No! We must have discipline! Discipline! We must have discipline!
How was that, madam?
Excellent.
Dominic Cooper is a guy who's on the rise with this film. I don't know, the movie's not getting as much credit as I thought it would, especially for the director. What's the guy's, Lee Tamahori?
Yeah, this is only his second film that's worth seeing, though. He's done a series of really.
Well, let's see.
Yeah,
He did.
I was like, what else did he do?
He did Once Were Warriors. He did.
That was his first film, and it was great.
Yeah, and then he did Die Another Day. James Bond,
which I liked, but wasn't generally
that's
well
right.
received.
Okay.
Then there's then it's just all shit after that.
Triple
though.
X, the Ice
Triple X
State
2.
State of the Union.
State of shit.
Yeah, so he's done some stuff out there, and I think that this is one of his better films to be sure.
Oh yeah,
but Dominic Cooper, the last thing you probably saw him was Captain America as Howard Stark. Yeah, so this guy is on the rise in this movie right here. Regardless of what you think about the film itself, and regardless of what you think about what Houday Saint's character is like, you gotta look at Dominic Cooper and be like, man, that's amazing. And you gotta give Lee Tamahori credit because there's scenes where those two characters are interacting with each other.
Yeah,
like there's a boxing scene in this movie that is fucking incredible, and the thing that you have to like gauge a performance like this when people are playing double roles is, do you actually not only forget that they are two different people, but they are occupying the same space and they do it seamlessly, and they do it, to me, they did it in the movie, but what can I say? I was high.
Damn.
I was seeing double anyway.
You fucked up. Be sure to get fucked up before you see this. That shit is real.
I played 4 roles in that movie.
I'm confused by the criticism, quite frankly, because I think this movie works in 2 ways. I think as an actor's film, this is a tour de force, man. That guy, Dominic Cooper, I mean, it's jaw-dropping watching what he pulls off playing both these roles together. I mean, they're so different, and yet they look the same.
Yeah.
And he really does. He sells you on both totally, being the really trapped, totally good guy, and being the most evil son of a bitch you can imagine. And both roles work. On the other hand, it also works really well as just an action thriller. There's a lot of scenes that are so fast-paced in here. There's a car chase that's really cool.
Oh, that's right.
There's a lot of really great action in this film, a lot of really scary shit that happens. I mean, you are constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop through this whole film, for this guy, Houday, to just do something that's just even more insane than the last thing he did. Houday. And he keeps doing it. He keeps trumping himself with more and more totally sick, fucked up shit. Now, luckily, unlike a Serbian film, you don't really see most of it in detail. There's a moment here or there, like the one that Corey alluded to early on, that made the whole audience go, Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
But, generally speaking, it you're better off having it in your imagination, I suppose, depending on who you ask. I just thought this movie nailed it all over the place.
Man, I'm right there with you. I mean, it reminded me of The Last King of Scotland. Plot-wise, it was the same thing where you have a guy come in and he's with this leader. I mean, the thing was, Idi Amin, as played by Forrest Whitaker, was charming through much, the first half of the film until you got to see how evil he was, and then James McAvoy is trapped.
He's that guy who'll drill you a new asshole and smile about it and tell you, hey, you're still a good guy. I like you.
And this is similar, except for the fact that, you talk about Houday being kind of a cartoon character, but it always made him seem like, well, he's just a happy-go-lucky guy, right? Except he would turn around 2 seconds later and kill somebody or torture. Like, he tortures Lateef, like, in the first 10 minutes. It's like at the first kind of like, hey, man, I'm going to give you a chance to grant all your dreams. Think about it. I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah, this is a guy who's
yeah, no, and it's like they torture him to the point where it's like, you might as well kill me. It's like, oh, but you got a family, so come on, you gotta do this.
It is. I mean, I I don't know how much, and I'm not going to even say that a lot of this really happened in real life. I'm going to say they did exaggerate some of this because they always do with these things.
But I've read so much about Uday that this sounded like it was either maybe not even on the money, but even kind of toned down.
If I was infamous for being ridiculously evil.
No. You know, when I hear
like you said, the Darth Vader would be like, dude, tone it down.
Well, I forgot what his brother's name was, but when I hear about these two guys taking people who played soccer and didn't perform like they want them to, and they went and broke their legs and stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, no, these guys are crazy. I'm just saying I don't know the details here, but I don't need to, because I look at this and I'm just looking at this as a crime film.
The story of him like taking a guy's wife on the wedding day, that's true.
Oh, no, I know. No, I know that. I mean, that's because you can read all this shit about these guys. I'm just, there's just, still, I look at this and I'm like saying, all right, whether some of this is true or not, I'm like, hey, I enjoyed this. They handled the suspense in this movie incredibly. I mean, it's like this, whether this is really how Uday Singh was or not, the fact that they were able to show you enough scary stuff, just show you how much this guy is not like a sociopath. He's a psychopath. He doesn't even know how evil he is. He's so spoiled that he's like, when I did this, that's just because I can. It's like I have the right to do this. There's one line in the movie where he's like just screams out, I see cunt. I want cunt. I take cunt. It's just like, okay, that's
not everyone's motto.
I'm so rich and powerful that this is my lifestyle, and I've grown to think that I have a right to do this. And there's so many scary moments where you just see, like, they just up the ante every time. Mm-hmm. Like, you still, like, they don't make any, like, they don't shy away from showing you, like, harsh things at the beginning.
Which is kind of, I mean, this being based on reality, those. It's stupid for me to even call him a character. He's a real person. But when you realize that person doesn't even realize that they're evil, that it's just another day in their life. This is what they do.
He thinks it's funny.
It's not. Yeah.
Nobody evil thinks they're evil. Nobody crazy thinks they're crazy. Yeah. It's just the way it works. People
but I mean, is this one of those movies though that it's so intense that you probably want to see it again because you almost get a rise out of it, like let's say Scarface would, or so fucked up that you realize this happened, that where you saw it once, but you don't feel like you need to see it again. You know what?
I thought about that, and I feel like it's both.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
Because it was like, it's like watching a whole season of Breaking Bad all crunched into 2 hours.
Don't tell me that.
The level of tension. Yeah. But it's traumatized to the point where I'm like, wow, this is like when people like are baffled that I have Requiem for a Dream. They're like, why would you ever want to watch that again? I'm like, it's an artful movie. I love it. But I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I would want to put myself through this torture again, but I would recommend this movie to everybody.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. There are movies that I watch just because I like the performances so much. Training Day is a film like I watched that movie over and over again just because of the performance in it.
No, really?
Well, a lot of people think
you lied
before.
Hey, no. A lot of people probably don't know that I just like Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke in that movie so much that is the real reason. Like the story, if you take those guys out of it, it can be just anywhere from run of the mill to like not that great. But this kind of movie right here is sort of like that. There's so many disturbing things in this film, but there's a lot of disturbing things in Scorsese films, and we watch them because we love the performances of those bad guys in those films. In those films, and this is such an amazing performance of Dominic Cooper that I hate to say it, I had a fun time watching him, despite all of the bad shit that surrounded it. So yeah, I could watch this again. I definitely could watch this again. I could watch it again just solely based on that actor.
Your reviews reminded me of Bronson, seeing Tom Hardy play that character.
That's another one that's very good.
You just want to keep watching it because the performance is so fucking intense and so out there. You're mesmerized.
Can I tell you something though? Bronson is Toy Story compared to this right here.
Wow. Okay.
It's I gotta say, there's a lot of things that I would not enjoy watching again. I might even have to turn my head to fast forward, like child rape and murder and all that kind of stuff. But I give the movie a full price because, well, just like everything I said, I just think that it's just Dominic Cooper is hypnotic in the film.
Yeah. I don't understand whatever negative criticism there could be of this movie. I'd give it an enthusiastic full price. Like as I've been saying, like this is one of the best years we've had in a long while. This is another brick in that best of the year
Yeah, only criticism I can think of is if you're sensitive to like violence and really disturbing films. I mean, if it wasn't a real story, it would almost be an exploitation film. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because it's just so distressing, the stuff that this guy did. But you know, at the same time, it is important for us to know, to confront that people are this fucked up. That even, you know, this just happened a little while ago. That we still live in a world where people let this shit happen, let people get away from this. This isn't 100 years ago. This was like 10 years ago. You know, not even that. So it is good for us to confront these things. And they made a movie that, luckily, is a lot more entertaining than just that. Damn. Isn't that terrible to say? Wow, how entertaining. But yeah, Dominic Cooper, is that his name? Is so great in this film. I mean, I hope he gets at least a nod at the Oscars this year.
Absolutely.
He certainly deserves it. This is a film I'm pretty sure I will go back and see it because it's so well crafted. I think I will go back and see it again. And goddamn it, you should see it. This is a full price.
I'm there right now. I'm going to be in line where there's no line.
I mean, the movie has problems.
Let me in.
But you know, if you take away the performance, it is very suspenseful.
Yes,
cool.
That's the thing. You have a knot in your stomach the whole time you watch it.
The benefit of a movie being this disturbing is that all stakes are off now. You know, this guy, you feel like this guy's in a hopeless situation. And I mean, what's better than watching the guy against those odds try to get out of it? You know,
wow.
So,
I'm sold, dude. What is up with August being a great month for films now? I thought like this is the month where Hollywood takes his fucking X-Lax and shits out everything. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I'm almost ridiculous to recommend. Like, there's never been a month where I can go see this. Somebody always asks me, what should I go see? But like this past like few days, there's been like a handful of films I can go fucking go see. You ain't wasting your money. And I'm going to go see this.
Now.
I'm not rich.
So, Cyrus, what do you think? You think Leon and I kind of looking like?
I'm sorry, Leon. What'd you say?
Hold on. Let me laugh again. Hold on. Let me laugh.
Put him in that trap.
Notice that's the white guy in the room. And if you do think so, Leon, you work for me.
Leon's on with Corey, you're the one with the afro, right? I get confused sometimes.
Wait a minute, let me move real fast. Let's switch places.
To do the shell game.
Let's do a black shell game.
Man, I don't know. Shit.
Except for getting, cheesy at the end. This really is the new Scarface.
Yeah, kind of like you said, mixed with Last King of Scotland in a way. But yeah, the main character, the evil character Dominic Cooper plays.
Yeah, Uday.
Yeah. He is Scarface. So much so that I expect to see now driving down the road and see like people selling carpets with pictures of him on.
like Al Pacino. like now when they do like cribs in every rapper's home, there's gonna be Uday Hussein. That's fucked up.
There'll be t-shirts with Bugs Bunny dressed up as Uday Hussein.
Say hello to my little friend who looks just like me.
I need to make room for my wall.
I'd like you to meet my little friend. And he goes, well, it's littler than mine. We've already established that.
You give me nothing. Everything I want, I just take for myself. I know people are dying. I don't care. I gave you life. Without me, you are nothing. I made you, Latif. I made you. Stop! I order you to stop! I will never let you go. I will never let you go. Reach out and touch faith.